the research I presented today in our cybersecurity weekend conference was talking about the faces behind the cyber espionage attacks, how careless mistakes that attackers and cyber spies do lead cybersecurity researchers to find out who is behind the attack, and how is the work culture or the structure of their organization or business model. So basically, I looked at different cases that um, cyber spies behind the cyber espionage attacks left some traces of themselves inside the different components of the attack, like a username or a nickname, which they use that nickname and username. They reuse it a lot in the attack components, as well as some other maybe social media networks for their own personal activities. Like they use the name that they use for registering a domain name for the attack. They use the name again for a social media account, which they use to put their personal information and personal photos. So from all these careless mistakes that they do, I concluded that there are different facts that it's good to know about cyber espionage campaigns and attacks that maybe we don't know. Most of the people think that cyber spies are from intelligence agencies of different countries, but it's not the only case. We see different cyber espionage attacks and different cyber spies that work for private companies, that these private companies provide their services, which is intelligence gathering service or cyber espionage services to the customers. And the customers might be governments or might be a private company that wants to do cyber espionage on a competitor or on an individual or someone else or some country. So different facts that we could find from the careless mistakes that cyber spies do is other things, like some cyber spies work for organizations that the organization look like a legitimate and ordinary organization, maybe some IT company, but actually behind the innocent face of that company, there is some cyber espionage operations going on. So there are some organizations that they have a double life. They look like a normal IT company, but they actually do cyber espionage on behalf of a security agency of some country. And of course, there are much more information that I found out about cyber espionage attacks based on the careless mistakes that attackers do, which was the traces that I mentioned earlier, that they use, that they leave on social media networks and Facebook, Twitter, different social media accounts. Like I realized that there are some people that they don't belong to one company or one security agency or a governmental agency. There are some cyber spies that work on their own. They contribute to this campaign and then they contribute to another campaign. They sometimes want to offers to write a malware on darknet markets, and maybe sometimes they research on malicious intentions with other researchers, and much more facts that we can find out about the real face of cyber spies behind the cyber espionage attack, just based on the careless mistakes that they make.